Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
I'm Michelle Duval, and welcome to today's episode, which is what you need to know when working with co-founders. In this episode, you're going to have an opportunity, a rare opportunity, to go inside and discover the critical ingredients that create that chemistry, the kind of chemistry that allows a business to flourish. We're going to explore the red flags to look out for when you're experiencing a business partnership, or what to actually look for when you're considering taking on a business partner or perhaps starting a business from scratch. What I'd like to do is actually back up a little bit and take you back into a journey that I've been through to give you some insight into how it is I'm able to share this kind of inside information. I started my first business in 1997, and this was when coaching was not actually a profession. I'd introduce myself and I'd say, "Hi, I'm a professional coach," and people would say to me, "What sports team do you coach?" And obviously the field has emerged enormously since then. Being one of the very first coaches, though, in the world meant that I had a unique opportunity to craft and figure out what type of population I really wanted to support. And I ended up creating a really unique niche area of working with what I call creative artists. So creative artists, from our standpoint, is anyone who is an actor, writer, inventor, thought leader, or an entrepreneur. And so over the last 20 years, I've had the real honour and privilege of working with some of the world's most successful business owners. And these business owners are people who've either started a business from scratch. So it might have actually been through the ideation phase that we worked with them. It might have been through that forming stage of a startup. Perhaps it's that rapid growth phase. Could have included funding, and then it's the next phase of really maturing a business, and that could be moving towards and actually achieving an IPO, or perhaps it's selling or actually a partial sale and achieving that much esteemed exit from a business. And then I've had the privilege of working with people post an exit or an IPO. In all of the years that we first started working with this particular population of business owners, we started to notice some patterns that were emerging. And these patterns indicated to us that there were some certain attitudes and motivations that those who had achieved significant venture success had that was actually different from those who were really struggling in business. So this led to a world first study, and this study ended up being a 15-year qualitative study and also a very world first quantitative study. And in that study, we classified a group of business owners who had all achieved a certain amount of venture success. We classified them into two groups. The first group is a group who'd achieved what we called an exit. So they'd started their business, they'd scaled their business and exited the business within 5 years. The lowest sale price in those that we actually studied was $6 million, and the highest sale price was $1.2 billion. We then had a separate group of people that we studied, and we called these people business builders. And they were people who were committed to building a business over the long term and had done so profitably for more than 10 to 15 years. Now, amongst these two populations, we not only studied their attitudes and their motivations, we actually did what we call correlational analysis. And we looked at these attitudes and motivations and how these correlated with certain business outcomes. Outcomes such as how many co-founders they had, the level of profitability that they'd had and how long they'd actually sustained that profitability, many, many other critical ingredients that lead to being able to turn them as truly successful ventures. We came across some really elusive findings that no one had, up until we've completed this research, actually find in the world. And today, I could not be more excited to be able to share with you some of these critical insights that lead to the characteristics that allow a business partnership to truly flourish. Now, I'm sure that you have come across many different horror stories. Some of you potentially have actually been through some horror stories yourself. Now, a horror story could be anything like a complete business betrayal. It could be where you started out with someone that you completely trusted and there was a big misunderstanding. And this misunderstanding led to losses of money, enormous stress, and actually led to business failure. Some people have gone on to experience ill health from a nightmare business partnership, and some people have gone on to lose enormous amounts of money from one of these horror stories. I hope that today it wasn't your experience that that's what you went through. Yet if that was your experience, today will give you hopefully some key insights that might have contributed to the horror story that you experienced. So if that's some of the horror stories and possibly some of the fears that you might have if you're considering a business partnership, what then are the actual characteristics of a thriving business partnership? What are those ingredients? And how would you even know if you're in a thriving business partnership? What does it feel like? What are the assets of a thriving partnership? And how does it actually support your business to grow? So let's take a look at one of the first critical ingredients. Now, it's not rocket science. One of the first critical ingredients is obviously trust. Now, trust is that intangible experience of where you feel that your co-founder or your business partner actually has your back. That you feel not only do they have your back, but they've actually got the best interests of the business at heart. And when you have that feeling, you have that security, the safety, and you can actually trust your business partner. Our next critical ingredient is that of a robust dialogue. Now, many of you will, in business, desire to be able to really say what you think, say what you feel, have that creative tension, the kind of tension that creates new ideas, that allows the business to grow at rapid rates. Now, that type of a robust dialogue is not for the faint of heart. You've got to feel good and trust that you can actually say what you think and have those conversations. In a healthy, thriving business partnership, business partners don't always agree. They'll disagree, and out of that will become really incredible creativity, new insights, and it's a key ingredient of business growth. Another critical ingredient is being able to truly respect the uniqueness that each business partner brings to the relationship. Now, in the thriving partnerships, not all business partners are alike. To give you some insight, we've worked with partners where it's just 2, 3. I've actually worked with several business owners where there's 5 business partners. Now, one of the critical reasons people choose a business partnership is to be able to optimise the unique difference that each person brings to the partnership. Now, that's great in theory, isn't it? Until you get to spaces of disagreement. Now, when you have a genuine respect for the uniqueness that your co-founders bring to you, you're able to see that you don't have all the skills, you also don't necessarily have all the leadership attributes, and you'll turn to and optimize the unique leadership, the unique entrepreneurial leadership that each one of the co-founders bring to the partnership. Now, when this is happening, the partnership thrives. The next one is being able to be productive. Now, it seems like a really obvious criteria of a thriving partnership, yet you wouldn't believe some of the things that I've been privy to. Having worked with co-founders, working with sole founders, working with investors who often work with the various stages once you've achieved funding, if that happens to be part of your growth trajectory, and then actually working with boards, I've been surprised at the level of issues, bottlenecks that can occur if you don't actually have a productive partnership. So one of the critical criteria that lets you know you're thriving is your business is getting stuff done. You are essentially constantly doing what it is you set out to do. And the two of you, the three of you, the four of you create much greater productivity than you would on your own. And one of the most critical final ingredients is that together in a thriving partnership, you're getting goals. You're actually achieving the vision that you set out to achieve. And critically important, you're on the journey together. There's a camaraderie. You're feeling great about it, and you're able to actually celebrate those results together. So as you step back and allow yourself to do a little bit of an audit of any partnerships you're currently in, or when you start thinking about one that you might be considering going into, if these are the actual attributes that let you know a partnership is thriving and flourishing, what do we do to foster and to facilitate this type of environment where you can achieve all of these things and more? So let's explore together. So the first one is alignment. Now, alignment comes with two types of alignment. The first one is why, and the second one is why. So let's explore the very first why. The first why is actually about, why do we want to do this business? Why are we choosing to do this business at this time, and what will it actually do for you? So at a personal level, why do you want to invest your heart, your soul, your spirit into this venture, and the years that it will take in order to be able to either achieve an exit or to be able to grow a business over a 10 to 15 year or longer period? Because you're going to be making and investing you, wholly and solely you, into this. So the first one is alignment with yourself. Why do you want to do this particular business at this point of time in your professional life, and importantly, in your personal life? Why is this important? Where does it fit in with your own personal vision? And how long do you actually have the drive, the motivation, and the ambition to actually give yourself to this journey? And in doing so, why do you want to do that? What will it give you personally? What will it give the world? What will it give humanity? And what will it give possibly your family? So that's the first one, is that first why. Now, the second one is a why actually about the partnership. Why do you want to do this with these other people? Why not do it on your own? So given you know why you want to do it for yourself, why do you want to do it with somebody else? You could easily be a sole founder. What's the purpose of actually partnering with other people? What will it give you to have other people involved in the decision making in terms of their skill sets? They might bring other networks and other contributions greater than your own. But why them? Why specifically that individual? What is your expectation? What are you hoping and anticipating that they uniquely and personally will actually deliver to the business that allows the two of you, the three or four or more of you, to actually get to the point where the sum is much more than the individual parts? So the first two parts.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.